What the hell is going on in the real estate market? Everybody's asking me that. What's going to happen? What's going to happen?
Yeah, people are uncertain right now, right? But a lot of fear right now, right? Not s- Seeing lots of inventory come up. I'm still seeing some things that are selling okay if it's priced properly, but those questions are popping up more and more.
Everyone's asking me like even my mortgage broker guy and everybody. So Diane, what do you think is going to happen? Clients, everyone's asking me, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, well, that's what's on their minds, right? We're leading into a spring market right now, and we're not seeing a lot of action, which, you know, people are scared. I really think people are scared right now,
Yeah.
right? And that's the bottom line. We don't see big change. We see things slowing down. The sales are showing us that we're seeing inventory creep up, um, but there is still business being done, right? We're
Well,
seeing that.
yeah, and you know what? Do the shutout.
Yeah, so if anybody wants any home evaluations or a buyer looking for properties in Barrie Simcoe County, click the links in our description and we'll help you out. And if you like this video, give it a like, share, and follow for more notifications on the market.
Yeah, and there's some free resources down there like buyer's guide. I have a buyer's guide and stuff like
Yeah.
that too. So take a look at that. I want to share my screen with you and show you what the experts are saying or have said about what's going to happen. And we're going to discuss this because I've said this many times on our podcast. External factors can't be controlled.
Well, they can't be controlled.
No. So experts predict high demand in the spring 2025 housing market, even in the face of uncertainty from cross-border politics.
Well, we're not seeing it yet.
Well, the Canadian Real Estate Association has offered its update, and here's the gist. Expect a rebound in the sales and prices in 2025 with continued growth.
But
Mark.
you know what? Look at that though. Look at the date on that. January 15th, 2025.
Yes,
Look how much has changed.
this is exactly what I want to talk about. Um, Gradual increase in sales activity over the next 2 years, though not as dramatic as many had previously hoped.
Right.
5 days ago.
Click that one on because the other ones to me are they're outdated. Too much has changed.
Well, and this is exactly what I wanted to try to explain to people. Nobody knows what's going to happen.
No one knows what's going on. And we know what's going on, but we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. So, there's a cloud over everybody's, head right now going, hey, what do we do? Right. They're going to look for guidance. They're going to look for information from professionals, right? What do you see in the market? What's going on in the market?
Yeah,
What
they're all
levels like?
yeah,
Like
they're asking you, they're asking me, everybody's asking. But the main thing people have to realize is that outside factors like the economy and global impact have effect on the real estate market and consumer confidence. So things could change tomorrow and flip-flop everything. Like it happened in 2017 with the stress test having to be for everyone. The market died when that happened. So here's the key highlights: economic uncertainty, trade tensions with the US, changing immigration policies. Housing starts. Construction will slow but remain above the 10-year average with fewer condo apartments but continued strong rental construction. Sales and prices expect to rebound as lower mortgage rates
we're not
and
saying
do you see what I'm trying to tell you?
saying that. That's a contribute. I think that's a point. We're not seeing a rebound. Is it going to get, drive demand? For some, it might. Yeah, I might say, you know what? They're coming down. Let's take the variable product because now I'm feeling even more confident that we'll see more decreases with what's going on. Yeah, it will, but it's not going to be a key driver in the market. It's
No.
not.
No.
I
And
think it
what
has to
people
do.
have to realize about half of these articles, look who's writing it.
Wow. Well. he could have paid for that, and then he put his company could be putting that out, and then he's got his or her you know, information there. Yeah, I mean,
Well, it's a mortgage broker who's trying to get business and trying to give confidence to consumers who don't have any.
I don't know about confidence though, because I think a lot of people, you know what I mean? Okay. Okay, so someone calls me up today and says, "How's the market?" Oh, you know what? It's really good. Now's the time to list. Now's the time to buy. We're seeing all kinds of great opportunities. It's all bullshit, right?
That's exactly what I'm,
People will see
that's,
through that though. So I think people need to really keep an open mind to what's going on, taking their time, watching the market for clues. Like I saw looking at the board today, I saw some higher priced properties, one on Jewel House Lane. I think it was 1.3, close to 1.4. It was a big two-story all brick. You know, got a conditional offer, 14 days in the market. Kind of surprised to see that, you know. So
well, and we saw a couple on Honey Crescent that sold really fast. And that $1.2 million or 125 or something sold within 3 days.
if it's in the right area, in the right pocket, and it's priced right. Here's what I've come up with right now. Is I've always talk about inventory and how it's overpriced. So when people now should look at this, and I'm going to take a different perspective on this, and sellers, if you want your home to sell, price it for the market. That will be the new deal for somebody. Example, one on Stony Brook. Client texts me, comes on the market over the weekend. Let's go take a look. Great. We'll book an appointment for Monday morning and Monday afternoon for 4 o'clock. Get one offer already. Then he's got two offers. And then affirmed,
It
they
sold firm in
all
two or
firm.
3 days.
A day over the weekend. I think it was listed on Friday or Saturday. So that was a deal because think about it this way. Buyers are so used to seeing stuff. Why is it priced like this? Why is it priced like this? As soon as they see something that's priced, wow, that's pretty good price because they know the market. They know what they're looking for. They've been looking, my folks have been looking at 1, 2, and down, anywhere between 2,000 to 3,000 square feet. There's a ton of inventory. So as soon as they see one coming up that's a deal, that's the new deal and it sells. So there's a lot of buyers out there today, looking for stuff that's priced normal. They're sick and tired of looking for stuff that is overpriced, 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 and overpriced. And we're continually see this in the market. So maybe we'll see some smarter sellers in the spring market says change their ideas.
Well, and Mark, do you
The new
think
deals are
Stony
coming
Brook,
from properties that are priced correctly. Wow.
yes, and do you think Stony Brook was priced way too low, like some
No,
stupid,
it wasn't. It was priced where it should have been priced.
yes,
Bottom line, it wasn't overpriced. It wasn't underpriced. It was priced for the market where we're in right now.
yeah.
And the seller didn't give it away. He priced it to sell. And right in the listing comments, it says, you know, need a July closing date, I believe it was. We've put an offer in conditional on the sale of our house. Here it is. Don't wheel and deal with us. We're pricing this to attract basically a buyer. And it wasn't underpriced in any means. For that square footage, yes, it was priced okay. That nice pool in the backyard, they did some nice presentation. Home was updated. It sold.
Yeah.
Didn't sell tens of thousands over list price, a couple grand.
Well,
But
and it didn't sell 100 or 2,000 under either.
no, because that property should have been priced at where it was.
Right.
950 range. That's where it should have been priced. And that's what happens. So buyers are done. Buyers are done dealing with overpriced crap that continually keep seeing it, keep seeing it. And, oh, let's change strategies now because we never got anything for the next 60 days. And let's put 699 on it. But meanwhile, we want 950 because now they've showed all the history of there when we hit the history button. The seller's not accepting near 699 or 799. He wants nine and change. Let's not waste their time. Buyers have done
Yes.
that many times.
Well, and the other thing is, you know, I've seen some buyers who think every single thing is overpriced, where not every single thing is. I mean, uh, it seemed to me when I've been looking with buyers, the newer listings that come out that are priced right, they're gone like immediately.
But the price right, but there's not many of them though. We've only rhymed off a few.
Yeah.
We we see some every week. Yes, we do, but we can probably count on one hand what we see.
Yeah. The problem is though, is that buyers think everything's overpriced and they're
But
not, and it's not.
the sellers condition them to that way for the last 2 years
Yeah.
because they can't let go of 22 pricing at the peak, and they're too busy worried about, well, God, my neighbor got this, so I think my house is worth that. And then I get comments from people saying, well, you know, they have to get that price because they bought. We pull the history on this stuff all the time. 99% of it's not. That seller that is bought in 2022 at the peak of 2021 trying to sell. It accounts for a very, very small piece of the market.
It's
These
true.
listings have been owned, for several years, sometimes 10, 20, sometimes 8, 5. There's equity built up. But if you want to get this high price, don't sell it right now.
Well, they're not motivated. They're not, a lot of them aren't even lowering the price.
How do we create a market for overpriced listings? No one's been successful at it yet. They've tried for 2 years. You can't do it.
No,
How many times you see listings relisted, canceled? Oh, let's change it. It's all the agent's fault. They didn't open house it the other day like I asked, and so whatever, all the bullshit, right? Like I'm just frustrated with it because we see it so much in our game, and we're watching the inventory quite closely. If you want to sell for today's market, sell. If you don't sell, but don't list it because you're not getting anybody.
no,
That's something.
trying to get some ridiculous
Stop it.
price. And,
Stop.
and, consumer confidence and the real estate market go hand in hand. Like they are so tied together. And right now, with the US tariff stuff and the mortgage qualifying rules and everybody up in the air about what the hell is going to happen, people don't want to make a move because they think the bottom might fall out and prices will go even lower.
I don't think there's a bottom falling out. I got that question yesterday with a guy in my building, the sauna. So is the bottom in the real estate market? Can't say that it's in. There was never a bottom. If you would have asked that question 2 years ago, I'd say, well, I don't know yet. We went down 25%. To me, that's a big correction for the most part. So
It is.
are we going to see some price bottom out? Let's be honest. Look at the listings in the market today. No, because no one's dropping their price. So no. So they just keep collecting dust on the market. When we're seeing 20 to 24%, let's even call it 25%, because that's all we're seeing month over month sell. That's not a good balance. It's a terrible balance.
It is. And what's funny is, like I said, the newer ones are selling, but the older ones are still sitting.
Even say the newer ones, because there's a lot of new stuff coming in the market that's way overpriced. If it's priced, great. If it's priced, not, I shouldn't say great. If it's just priced for the market, yeah, they're going to get some traction. But every new listing gets a traction no matter what. Are those properties that are overpriced coming in the market? Well, you know what? Let's go see what the 1.4 gets you on that street, because we looked at the 1.2. So they're using it as you know, let's go see why there's 200 grand more in difference. I went to a listing on Friday. People bought it in 2020 for $1,075,000. They're at 1.9 and change. Agent called me. First question out of my mouth was, help me out with the price, because I know your sellers just bought it for 1,070. I'm sorry, 1,075,000 in 2020. What happened? Why the big jump in price like this? Oh, they put $800,000 in the house. Oh, okay. So we show up, and they've done some nice things. Don't get me wrong, but there's no $800,000
Mark, you can build two houses for that.
right? Nice area, very, you know what I mean? Area's got going for you. Just the wrong house. They'll never get that. It's a very unique property, bad flow to it, whatever. I won't just let you know the property, but it's just ludicrous. So
Well, and there's no way someone put in $800,000.
no, they haven't put 800 grand in that. I found that hard to believe.
Well, and another thing that drives me crazy is when real estate agents try to bullshit us.
Well, we can see how far 800 grand gets you, and I didn't see it.
Well, oh, they did this or they did that, or, oh, did you see the comparable? I get that all the time from Toronto agents who are comparing something in a great area to something in a shit area.
Well, sure, we get that because they don't know the community, right? That's just,
Yeah.
well, they don't know the community, and they probably don't know how to do a comparable. pretty hard to do a comparable. And well, it's not. We can figure it out pretty quickly. We do it all the time. But if I didn't know an area, I'm going to Geo and getting the streets, the surrounding streets within a 500-meter radius. There's my comparable neighborhood right there, not
Exactly.
somewhere else. So, the skill level of agents today, there's been a lot of new agents that have come on board during the COVID time because that's
Yeah,
when the heyday was. They didn't need to know anything.
I
Just
know.
put up a listing, put the sign up, and pick a number from the tree. They're still doing that today because looking at the pricing, so they haven't gone through markets and experience.
No.
Right? They haven't
And
seen.
we're seeing more than ever Toronto agents selling here.
It's always going to be the case.
Yeah.
It's never going to change. So, you
When
know,
I got into the business and you got in years and years ago, the percentage of Toronto agents was way lower than it is today.
absolutely, absolutely. That's never going to change. They're
No,
going.
because the buyers are buying with their agents up here, and then when they go to sell, they're using the same person.
Yeah, pretty much.
And certain ethnicalities want to stay within that ethnicality
Here's what I think that's going on a lot in the listing side too. I got a
or
comment
ethnicity. I don't know. Go ahead.
one of the YouTube followers in Innisfil. I didn't give me the address, but I'll talk about it. But I just, love your channel, et cetera, et cetera. I subscribed, whatever. My agent just called me today and wants me to reduce. But after watching some of your videos and channel, I've changed my mind. So I'm thinking he's probably got one of those conversion agents. They take anything. Oh, yeah, I agree. Yep, 1.2, no problem. Meanwhile, they know, oh my God, never want to. And well, sorry, you know what? The market changed. I think we need to reduce. That's what I think he's got,
It's
right?
possible.
It's possible. So I don't know.
Or the problem is that happens is that agents are starving and they'll take anything. So I'm going to take it when it's too high, even though I know it's too high, and I'm going to get him to reduce the price, but it could be too high.
if it isn't sold in 2 weeks, it's too high.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's too high.
Yeah.
Adjust. Do we know
Yes.
the percentage? Well, because we can pick up, go back and look at some of our comparable videos that we've done where we did a live video night. Owners want to get a good idea of how we should come up with an evaluation. Watch one of our videos. We have it on there. We went through it last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, hey, let's get an evaluation. We picked a property from the board. I think it was listed at 1.35 or 3 in that five. Anyway, we came to the conclusion, you know what? It's a 1.250, maybe 60. I'm
Yeah.
sure I haven't seen it come across the board. It's not for the square footage.
No.
So, but then again, I seen another property over in Bayshore area, two this week that have sold relatively fast. So, I think there's a lot of buyers out there too that this doesn't affect every consumer out there.
I agree with you.
It just doesn't. The buyer that I took out on Friday didn't once talk about what's the market do. Didn't ask me any questions.
No.
You know, here's what
Well,
we're looking for. We see some properties? Sure. Boom.
you know what, Mark? I think that too is a point to me that a lot of people are misinformed. Meaning there are a lot of people that have a lot of equity in their home. There are people that make a lot of money and the mortgage rates and all the shit that's happening doesn't matter.
Doesn't affect them.
No. And so there is a certain amount of the population where it does affect, but it's not everybody. And everybody, when you see these articles, nobody can afford houses, nobody can buy, housing is, out of control, nobody can do anything anymore. Like that's just not true.
I think there's a good buyer pool out there sitting on the fence. One, with uncertainty, as we know. Two, pricing's too high for what we're looking for in our range. And we've gone through it through all the ranges in the community right now, and we still see it across the board. But when one does come up, boom. And you know what? In that property in Stony Brook, I'll go back to that for a second. We should have jumped on that sooner. Their ducks should have been aligned up because I said that house had checked off a lot of boxes for what you're looking for. right? And sometimes, that's rare. That's rare when in this market right now, and they're looking for a pool in the backyard. That was priced good. Under a million, that was priced good because everything we've been looking at well over a million
Yeah.
and sitting and sitting. So, you know, and then I saw another one that we looked at. God, we looked at that in the fall. It's been listed forever. I think the highest price is 1.3 and 325 in that range. Sold for 1,015,000 in Allendale area. Trying for 6 months.
Was that on Marshall?
Yeah, finally sold. Hey, nice presentation. He paid big bucks for it. Didn't make any money, but you know, there comes a time when people need to listen.
Well, you know what the other problem is, Mark? If you paid too much or you overdid with renovations, that's not my problem.
The market doesn't care.
Hmm.
They don't care. They don't care. In a high market,
Exactly.
hey, you get a big premium for that type of property. Right now, you would. They didn't. Like,
Yeah.
I'm glad, good for the seller. Congrats to them for selling it, but it took an awful long time to sell that. And we've seen that over and over and over for the last 2 and a bit years. It comes down to pricing.
If you're sitting there for 2 or 3 months and nothing's
Two or
happening,
three
now
months.
mind you,
No, 2 weeks. 2 or 3
well, no,
months.
when I just sold mine, Mark, the agent says, "Well, you've been listed for a couple months and you haven't sold." And I said, "Well, I listed in late November, went through Christmas. So, like that's the word, I didn't decide I could have taken it off the market and relisted it,
Mhm.
but I left it there. Nobody's buying at Christmas.
It's a quiet month. No one's buying in January.
No, well, I did sell it in January, Mark. But what I mean is like your timing can be the problem. It's not always the price.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's where an agent could give that, wait till the new year or, why list this now, right?
Exactly. You know it too. You tell people, don't do it right now because the timing sucks. And it's like there's a team in Barrie now that I'm not going to say their slogan because then everybody's going to know who I'm talking about. But their philosophy is like we work for you 24/7, 7 days a week. So they're listing now on Saturdays, Sundays, Monday holidays, everything. And you and I both know, like I only list Monday to Thursday. I won't list on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday because nobody's looking.
Agents don't have the computers open. They're busy showing on the weekends. They're not looking, right?
Or
When
they're in the summer, they're at their freaking cottage. Try to reach an agent on a Friday in the middle of the summer. Good luck to you.
Well, the ones that are hungry and are in it full time will pick up their phones. The majority won't, but there's certain days like you said, long weekends, forget it. Why bother? You want to get in, and sometimes it's good to do an open house on some of those long weekends. I've been successful doing it and good traffic coming through. But that listing's going on a Tuesday or Wednesday, so it has a lot of time to circulate around,
That's right.
right?
That's right. And
That's
open houses in general, I think in all my years, and I went 4 or 5 years with doing open houses every Saturday and Sunday, even long weekends for years, like for 4 years. And I think in all that time, I might have sold two, actually got buyers twice in all those years for that property. I got buyers for other properties
right.
and I got clients from it. And that's why agents do open houses. They're not doing open houses to try to actually sell that house.
It's rare, right? It's opening the door for a public to come in and view it at the end of the day, right? Come
People
on.
who actually are interested in your home make an appointment.
Most do, yes. But I've had some, hey, you know what? We're going to look at this over the weekend. We'll keep you updated. We got to go to this open house. Yeah, great. Let me know how it goes.
Yeah.
Thanks. Right? Like that happens a lot
Hmm.
where something comes up and they don't need to bug me on it. And they want to go look them. Yeah, absolutely. Go look. Or if we're showing that day, you know what? Let's swing by this open house.
Yeah, I've done that too.
Right? Like we don't need to book an appointment. We got lots of flexibility. So That kind of works.
It doesn't hurt to do them, but if you're looking at that as a very important sales tool, it's not.
Not going to sell the house too much. It gets some exposure with people walking in, right?
That's it. Yeah. And I think that the market, with all these external factors happening, with a election about to happen, with all this shit going on, everybody's in hold mode.
They are. Things are chaotic right now. So let the chaos die a little bit, right?
They're
And
still like things are still selling. We're seeing it.
pull up the listings. I wouldn't mind seeing how much listings. Let's let the viewers know. Let's see
Okay.
where there was 821 or 24 on Friday. Let's see where we are right now with that. I'd be curious.
I'm kind of paying attention too. Why is it not letting me share, Mark?
Oh, there you go.
Sorry.
Want to see what's how much his inventory is increasing.
I know. Well, I would like to see the sales too, because it would be interesting to see what we were way down last week. And it would be interesting to see if we're actually gaining any ground. We're in.
Okay.
Okay, so are you writing down these numbers?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So I'm in freehold right now,
Okay.
541.
Okay.
God, I think that was almost the same.
I know it was, but we've probably had, you know,
216.
750, 757.
So here was the end of February, 580.
Okay, give me one second. I want to do that. Seven, what was the number? 757?
Mm-hmm.
Just give me one second. Okay. So last Friday, when we did the video, was it Friday? Or no, I think it was when. Anyway, last week sometime. The inventory was up 21%. Now it's up 30.5%.
Yeah.
So we've inventory is still gaining. Let's go back. Okay, so that's fine. Let's go to your spreadsheet now. Okay, there it is. So where was
Last
the
year we had 510 at this time.
right, right, right? And I did it off the actives off of 580.
I
So
know.
hang on, let's just do it there. Give me one second.
I want to check the solds too while we're there.
So if we're going off of last year's, yeah, last year's numbers, I want to go back to that spreadsheet when we're done.
Yeah, we're
Uh,
gonna.
Um, the inventory's up 48%. That's massive, massive.
I know that. I know it's crazy. And you and I have both been seeing it. Remember 27 and 101. So 128 sales so far.
Okay.
And last year we had 230.
Yeah,
And we only have 6 days left.
I know. So let's just see there. Keep it. Whoops. Here we go. Keep that number there, please. So right now, again, those 230 for the end of the month, we got 6 days left. But if we have no more sales between now and the end of the month, which we're going to, but right now we're down 44%. So with the sales, we could be coming in at 25 to 30% down
Below.
below. That's 2 months in a row. Again, February, Weather, March has been pretty good. We've had an early start to, oh, weather's warming up, sunshine, nice days. So I expected a bigger result from March than what the picture looks at now. I'm concerned. And, again, most of that, I wish I had hours and hours of free time. I would go through those numbers like a hawk, but I think it's probably fair to say 35 to 40% of the inventory's been listed for greater than 100 days if you go back and look at the archives and history. So it's a lot of inventory that's overpriced or just sitting or it's not in demand, but we sure can't base it all on demand. It has to be, what I mean? Is it the right inventory? Maybe, but the pricing's off. That's a
Yeah, well, and I wanted to look at the hot sheet today. So we have 54 new listings, nine decrease, one increase. What was that one that your client liked? And there was a pool and they had lowered the price and they were withholding offers.
that was in Bayshore. I
Yeah,
know.
what was the name of the street?
I forget if it was Royal Park or something. I don't remember this. Turner, maybe Turner. Check out Turner. I think it was Turner. Let's check it
Yes,
out.
it was Turner.
Let's
Now that
see.
you say that. I wanted to see what happened with the
Let's see.
it's spinning, it's happening. Offer night was Monday the 24th and it's still sitting there.
Still sitting there. Pull the history up on that. Could you? So
Hmm.
so this is a prime example. I like the area. I'm not going to sit here and talk about it, but look at the pricing. Look where we started.
Yeah, we started at 1369, and then they went on the 17th to
Right.
1,049,000,
Yeah.
and they were withholding offers till last night. Now, we don't know, like maybe the deposit's not in, maybe it did sell. We're not, we don't know.
But when you list a property like they have and change strategies partway through it, and going, okay, we've got no traffic here at this price, which you might get one or two lookers. And as soon as you go back to the going, if there's some interest in the property, go, wow, we went through comparables and we found better properties at that price for a little bit cheaper. Some a little bit more, but offer different things and more size and private backyards. They have a nice pool in the backyard, but that was a wrong move in my mind because now you're telling if you're the buyer, I'm going, okay, Dan, you want to put an offer in this, but they're expecting something in the 1-3 range for sure. So
Yeah.
this is very unrealistic. Oh,
Yes.
our budget's only 1-2. Okay, let's not go today because we're going to waste your time and my time. That's what
Well,
we
and the other thing I find with that, Mark, it's not only wasting time, it's a matter of you go somewhere and somebody loves it, but they can't have it because they can't afford it. And it's almost like a bummer. And it's almost like when you do go to other listings, they're comparing it to that, which they couldn't afford to pay for because the seller would never even take what they could afford, you know?
Yeah, but most of people are working with agents. An agent with some experience can say, you know what, let's not go today because it's going to go over your budget, right? So
Yeah.
it'd be a letdown. So you do have to do a little bit of pre-work, I think, in questioning that. But our agents, and I think there's a lot of agents out there that are scared to have those difficult conversations. I gave some feedback on a listing. Um, Actually, I just called him because I knew the agent well in the community. We talked and stuff like that. And he called me back a couple hours later laughing. He goes, thanks for the email. He's going, I don't know if I should send it. No, you should send it because it's the truth. Property is overpriced by 200K. Yeah, you should send that. Might help you get a decrease on it. Oh, I don't know. They might be mad at me. They shouldn't be mad at you. They should be mad at me. Right? I'm giving them the
Yeah.
truth. Like it was it's just, you know, they're
I had a client one
scared.
time, Mark.
I don't get it.
Well, I do because I had a client one time and I would regularly send her the feedback. And she said to me, she finally called me and said, I don't want the feedback anymore. She said, I don't want to listen to negativity or hear negativity. If it isn't positive, I don't want it.
Put your big girl panties on, because that's reality. If you're gonna, so if it was a price issue or it was whatever issue, get ready for feedback, whether it's negative or positive. You can't escape that.
Well, and
Like,
if you don't face it
sorry,
head on, if you don't face it head on, you're never selling your house. So you might as well face it.
take it for what it is. I give honest feedback. Here you go. Especially if I know the agent well. Yeah, I'll call you. Yeah, it's not going to work. The price is too much for what you're offering. Boom. Where'd the price come from? Well, I didn't even have to ask that because I know where it comes from. But in the conversation, the seller made the price up, and looking at the history of it, it's been, you know, selling forever. So, you
Well, and
know,
look at it, and we're getting close on time here, but looking at all the numbers, the inventory
go back to the
rise.
spreadsheet if you can. Go back to that spreadsheet because I want to give the viewers a bit more inventory numbers. Well, because you know what, it's up 44% um, right now. So I wouldn't mind seeing what April's going to be in May, where the numbers. I think they do increase if
Well, no, we're in big trouble because the numbers go huge. In April, it went to 648, May went to 714, and June went to 762. Like it just started going crazy the rest of the year.
yeah, but we're up here right now in March and we're up 44%. Are we going to see 44% more listings in this range?
I don't know. Like
Number
my
could be
thing
nine in 1,000.
is March our big bump this year instead of April and May.
I don't think so. I think there's more to come.
Well, I don't know.
I think there's more to come.
Because look at the big bump didn't happen in March last year.
No, no, yep,
So I don't know.
yep, no. And look at
That's
this.
why I was
Look
looking
at the
at the
sales of the
10-year
inventory.
thing.
Look at the sales of these inventories, Diane.
Well, look at this.
It's
So
so
this is
low.
the 10-year spreadsheet, Mark. Okay. Look at March 230, 244, 230, 244, 315, 549, 242, 184. So March has never been a huge month, believe it or not, except in 2021.
Which is we know what that was.
Yes. And look at down, we're down to like look at 2017. Remember when all the rules changed? It went to hell.
Yeah, they really dropped off.
Really dropped off. But besides 2021, March has never been um a huge thing, but it's funny because look at April, 339, 175, 219, 92.
Yeah.
That's when the lockdowns happened.
Mhm.
Then 421, 232, 214. So when you see these big variances like 92, it was COVID and the lockdowns. An external factor changed that.
For sure. I'm concerned with the inventory levels and it's consistent throughout. We're going to go less than a minute. So let's wrap it up. Inventory is building, price it right. Buyers are not looking for deals, look for properties that are priced right.
And
Okay.
nobody knows what's happening.
We don't know. Let's call it quits because you're going to get cut off anyway.
Okay.
See ya.
See ya.